I met John, I think I was probably 9 or 10, down to Little League Park. He was one of those kids that unfortunately didn't have a lot of baseball talent, but through the years started to hang out in the neighborhood. And then I believe when we turned 13, my dad, we drafted him on our team, and that's when we became really good friends. John was very funny, very entertaining. He liked to have a good time. I mean, he was into all sports. He loved Jeff High basketball. He would go to all sporting events. He ran, I believe he ran track, cross country at Jeff High. He loved everything to do with sports. I mean, he was a big IU fan, and you know, we got along really well. I mean, just all that. We had a lot of same interests, movies. Of course, we like to drink beer. I mean, that's a given. So, you know, that kind of clicked early. Don't tell my mom that. But, you know, he was just an outgoing, fun person, and we hit it off probably within first 2 or 3 days of meeting each other. The one I remember the most was baseball. And I think we might have been in a 15-year-old league, and John never had a hit. He got up and he hit the ball and got his first hit, and we all signed the baseball for him, and he was the happiest person ever. That was a good story. Now, the funny story is the same year, my dad needed him to get on base, so my dad told him to turn around and get hit by a pitch. Well, John squared around the bunt and got hit right in the middle of the stomach and started crying. So, I mean, he got on base twice that year, once with a hit, but I think he still had that ball when he passed away. He loved his job. I mean, I don't know. I know he worked in the warehouse. I know he went on the routes and helped them deliver beer. But I know Teddy loved him dearly. Everybody liked him there. But he went to work every day, and we got a lot of free cases of beer too. But yeah, I mean, he worked there up until his passing, and he probably would still be there if it was open. I think Jason and Butch, Gary, and Pat, and some of because he was into softball. He was playing a lot of softball, going down the park. They kind of started as a softball tournament. I was not very good at softball. We got a team to play, so we kind of just did like a little tournament. I think we actually had a dance down at the KC the first time, and I think Papa John's donated all the pizza, which was really cool because it was our first year doing it. So we did softball the first year. Then the next year we kind of got a little bigger, got more donations. We kind of, you know, we really didn't know what we were doing. Most of the money we made was from the concessions, and I think the teams that we charged them. So we did that for about 9 years, and as we got a little bit older, we tried to move to something a little easier for all of us, the golf scramble. And this is our 9th year, which will make 18 total. We were going to try to hang on to 20. We still may do something in the future, I don't know, maybe just to get together. But this will be our last year for the golf scramble. We've donated countless of dollars, scholarship, $1,000 scholarship every year, Jeff High, for perfect attendance, which he had. I think we do shirts for the Little League down at GRC. We give money to people that may need some school books, people that have, you know, issues, and we run it through Mary, John's mom, and make sure she's good with it. And but we've probably raised 50 or 60,000, I'm just guessing, but we've easily put back 40 to 50,000 back in the community for John. And I hope when this is over, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we'll be able to keep the scholarship on. I think our idea right now is to maybe do a one-time donation with whatever we have left at Jeff High, and hopefully get a plaque to put it in either the arena or out in the hallway. So he'll always be remembered that way, Jeff High. Oh, it's been great for them. Mary and even his Aunt Paula and John B. I mean, I think they're 100% grateful. They love it. I mean, they absolutely love it, and it's good. And it's not that we're not going to keep doing something to carry it on, but you know, Mary, I think after we explained it to her, but I think she's had more fun than any of us. She loves getting all the donations for the raffles, and yeah. So but it always keeps him going and keeps us going. I mean, knowing John, you know, you don't grow up and have too many people die that young. He would think it's awesome. I mean, he would absolutely love it. He would love for us to celebrate the way we do, drinking some beer, playing some cornhole. Yeah, I mean, this is what he'd want. I mean, you can't ask for anything else, and he would absolutely love it. I mean, John as a person was always, I mean, he wanted to be the center of attention. He wanted to be funny, which he was, but he would do anything for you. You know, as far as his legacy, like I said, I mean, I think we've done justice for John. I think he would be proud. I mean, we do the sponsor for the program with him, you know. So I mean, it's going to carry on. It's just we got to figure out a way to do it.
My earliest recollection of knowing John Houghton was at Jeffersonville High School in the locker area, freshman year. He came up to our lockers. We had lockers in the main hallway, and he wanted to hang out with us. And so we were like, well, yeah, because we all had the same friends. We all hung out. Next thing I know, someone had asked me if I would go with him. And so being the shy freshman girl that I was, I just didn't really know what to say. So my earliest memory of him is quite embarrassing, but looking back now is very sweet. What I remember about him the most, number one, what sticks with me is the kindness that he gave everyone. He was never a one circle kind of guy. He was friends with everybody. And I remember him he loved sports, loved to, he was always involved in things. That's about it. I mean, just his kindness. The fear that I had and the sadness that I had, because my mom and stepdad were also friends with his mom and dad. Just the overwhelming fear of it all and knowing that he had died. I remember it scaring me into thinking that, I'm here pregnant. I was nervous. It was just overwhelming. I didn't know what to think. It was very sad. I cried, of course, and sat on the phone with Lori, and it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. What I know about it is this. As a patron for the last several years of this event, the last 17 years of this event, and an onlooker, I tried to do what I could as a friend to help out. Every now and then I might help in the concession stand. But sitting back and watching all of these people, my peers that I went to school with, and seeing these people make these changes and the overwhelming response that that was given, as far as softball tournaments, golf tournaments, dances, it was pretty cool to me. In my opinion, I think it's so worthy of his name and his honor, and being asked to be a part of this year, being the last year, has been the biggest honor, because I feel like I can sit back, help these people get this together and watch them have a good time and remember their friend, remember our friend. So this year we're doing the golf scramble, and then we're having the dance. The dance will be at the Knights of Columbus on August 30th. And from 7 to 12, we have a DJ Todd Jones is our DJ, and we're all very excited about it, and it's sure to be a good event, and hoping to raise a lot of money. There's a lot of money that comes out of this organization. These people have worked very, very hard to do that, and in turn, there's been a lot of kids to benefit from that, which, in his name, is a good thing. So, and I'm sure he's very proud of all of them and everything they've done. So.
I first met John in high school, I guess it would be. Probably just hanging around with Jason and Ryan and all the other guys. John just being a happy guy. I mean, when you seen John, he was smiling all the time, always wanting to do something, get into something, just a happy person. Always had a great smile. The one great thing that John always did for me when he was working for Clark County Beverage, I knew I'd wake up every Saturday morning with a case of beer on my front porch. It was, he would do that kind of stuff for us from time to time, but, playing softball, and he was always our little house mouse, manager kind of guy that traveled with us whenever we went and played softball everywhere, and he was awesome. Witty, quick, busting ass like everybody else does, but yeah, he was very quick with a comeback or two, obviously. But yeah, he had that kind of quick wit, quick mind. I remember getting the phone call and just being, what? No way. I mean, I was just seeing him last week or whatever. And yeah, it was not a good day. We were getting too old to play softball anymore, let's be honest, breaking down. I mean, so golf was just an easier transition. And it's a struggle sometimes to make sure you got enough teams, that you're going to have enough teams to get there. hose sponsors, but it's not entirely difficult. Everybody's, from the get-go, have been right on board with us, know when the tournament is, and they even asked me 2 or 3 months out, hey, Houghton's this year, right? You know, blah, 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 Labor Day weekend every year. So it's been pretty smooth. Over the course of going to be 18 years now that we've probably done $40,000 to $50,000 in donations to different causes. I mean, as long as Mary approves it, Mary thinks it's a good idea, it kind of goes down to me, Jason, and Ryan, and here it is. If it's a worthwhile cause, or if it's needed. I mean, there's been kids that ask us for book money for school, and no problem. To see Mary, you know, to see all the friends come out, and she gets a really kick out of it. John B's kind of hard to register because he's John. He just kind of sits back, and you don't really know what he's thinking. But Mary, you just see a little spark in her eye. You know, you can tell that she's really enjoying it.
I don't know if I can exactly point it out. When I first met John, I know that he came to Ewing Lane about the 4th or 5th grade. I remember John from Little League. You know, Little League was big when you're 9, 10, 12, 11, 12 years old. I remember about John because he wasn't the greatest athlete, but he was playing majors, which was at like 8 years old. So, you know, he always tried. That's the thing I remember about John, meeting him. Sports. But he wasn't the best. Didn't matter. You know, it just didn't matter to him. New stats, he would say, his head's like needless, full of needless information or useless information. You know, that was before Facebook, Twitter, ESPN, 24-hour news. He knew stuff that nobody knew, and he read. He just read these books. The thing I remember about John is, and this goes from the beginning to the very end, he had a large group of friends, right? So it wasn't just like, I only had, 3 or 4 really good friends. John might have 10 or 12 really good friends, Parkview, he ran cross country. I know that, always ran cross country. That was his sport. After school, we'd always, after a game or after practice, we'd all be hanging around the school. So Ryan and John and Bobby, their bright idea was run and they'd jump on the hood or the trunk of your parents' car, which Bill McGregor, that was fine with him. Bobby's dad's fine with him. Wasn't fine with my dad. So he jumped on my dad's car, and that was, anything about my dad and his cars, that might have been his first meeting of John. I'm not sure, but this is a funny story I remember. High school, I remember John, we rode to school together. I picked him up from junior or senior year. I picked him up when we went to school together. Cross country. The thing about high school with John, the athletics. It's like football, basketball. He's got to be the biggest student fan I think I've ever known, and he loved basketball. He was very supportive of baseball. Me and Ryan and Pat played baseball. Very supportive. Probably went to all our games, he was a part of your group, right? I mean, he was you, we were just, real friends. If you had a friend in high school, you could name maybe 3 or 4 of them, he would be one of mine. I knew all the way through high school, he made it almost, all the time. I haven't missed a day. I've never missed a day, I thought I was pretty good. I hadn't missed a few days, but I we actually went to school. We went to the same college together. We went to Vincennes, so we weren't roommates, but him and Bobby were roommates, hung out, back to sports. John lived in the baseball house. So his roommates were my fellow baseball players. After college, he started working for Teddy. We liked to sports, watch games, maybe wager on a few games here and there. With John, it was, growing up, it's sports. And John started playing softball. That was one thing that he could play with us. He was just part of our team, and I think that was important to him. I don't know if I was the first one to know. If I wasn't, I was pretty close. Our group, I had to run by Jamie Dooley's house in the morning for something, I don't remember. So I'm getting ready. I walk in, we do, I get ready to leave. He said, I got some really bad news. My first reaction when you're 25, 26 years old, who got locked up? That was my question. He said, no. He said, John's dead. I'm like, didn't register. Part of this is why. Why we do it. It's just, to provide that fellowship. We get older. You don't spend as much time with your friends. And this way, I know every year we're gonna be together. The last couple years we've done they call it a super sponsor with the basketball team. Basically, you get a plaque. We donate $1,000 to the basketball team. It gets recognized before the game. We got a sign up on the arena, the whole year. So with the high schools, we provide a scholarship every year. It's $1,000 every year, and we did it for perfect attendance. I think, I say this all the time that, he was a good dude. He just remember that he was loyal. I think loyalty is just the one word you can sum it up. For John B and Mary, I think that it allows us to be a part of their life, like we were when we used to drink all his beer. Hanging out at their house. I think for Mary, and especially Mary, we meet 3 or 4 times a year. She comes to hang out. That's important to them, I think. Important to us too. This is the 18th year we've had events. We started with softball, 9 years of softball tournaments because we didn't know anything else, what to do, how to do it. We knew how to play softball, we knew how to do a tournament. But after 9 years, I was about to really kill everybody because, it just gets hard, and I don't want to snap at my friends. I don't want to be, that's not what it's about, right? So Ryan and Pat, golf scramble for 9 years. This is the 9th year, so that's 18 years. Every year raising money. So, we had a talk, and this is really gonna be our last year for the golf scramble. We're gonna have a dance this year. It could be the last time we have any type of fundraising. I'm not sure. We're just gonna settle in after, in about a month, and we'll figure out what we want to do. We don't want to not continue, but at the same time, we know we've got to move on. We don't want it to become a job. We want it to be fun. I personally want to thank everybody that's helped us over the years. 18 years is a long time. It's a long time to continue something at this magnitude, I think. We get, we got 120 golfers that are going to be here in a couple of weeks, Can't do it without all the friends, all of Mary's family, all of John's family, all of my family, It's important for us, to do this thing right.